Alrighty. Well, welcome everybody. If you're new to the community, please join the Sigstore-dev mailing list. The way this meeting works is we'll do a project round robin, and then we'll discuss a few of the other ongoing events. Typically, Tracy is the chair for this meeting. However, she is out this week. So to kick things off, Recore. Does anybody have any updates? If not, I will mention there is an issue which we recently created. This is for including the sign treehead, or what's called a checkpoint with inclusion proofs. This is something that we think is necessary to include so that effectively you are pinning your inclusion proof to the log that generated that inclusion proof. I'm working on adding this. Hopefully I'll have this in by the end of the week. There is a doc attached to it that provides some additional justification and talks a bit about the expected online and offline client workflows using these signed checkpoints. And then everyone in Sigstore-dev should have access to that design doc. Were there any other updates for Recore? Cool. Fulcio. I don't believe we have any updates for Fulcio either. There have been two recent issues. Let me also post those in here, asking for some new identity providers, and that has provoked some great conversation. So there's two things I'll call out here. The first one of these is a identity provider called EduGain. The main thing here, we're happy to add any more identity providers to Fulcio. The main thing is that we have a list of requirements that we'd ask of identity providers. It's a bit of a work in progress, but we are codifying that list as part of the architecture documents that we'll be writing. So we might use this identity provider to kind of test that list out. The second one of these is a continuous integration IDP that's asking to be added. This is like GitHub Actions. This provoked another good conversation. I believe it was on the NPM RFC that somebody brought up that ideally we would have some standardization between all the CIs in terms of the claims that are provided in the identity tokens. So I'm planning to create another Fulcio issue so that we can discuss a bit more about which claims we'd like there. So for example, moving away from GitHub specific claims and more generally to ones around workflow and whatnot. Some of it might just be renaming and then deciding what's the ideal set of claims for that. So we can probably then discuss that during the next community meeting. Cool, any other updates for Fulcio? Alrighty then, Cosine.
I have one thing for Cosine, which is in past community meetings, we've mentioned a document that Hayden wrote about requiring that when you verify things using Cosine, you provide explicitly what identity or key you mean to be verifying them against. I think we're at a point where that document has something I would describe as nobody has yelled at me that we shouldn't do it. And so I am, I guess, tentatively claiming that that's in a position for us to move forward on. So I will maybe follow up with Hayden about timelines and who's going to do that work. And if you're interested, talk to me and Hayden, comment on the doc. And if you really don't think it's a good idea, I guess like today is the day to speak up about it.
Perfect. I was just actually thinking about that yesterday. So yeah, I think our plan is initially adding a deprecation warning in. So that will be the first thing we get in. So you'll have a teeny bit more time if you want to disagree with it. But otherwise, we're planning on moving ahead and also getting the rest of the clients in agreement on it too. So they have been already looped in. Cool. I I don't believe there are any other Cosine updates. I'm taking a quick look at open PRs and issues. I believe I don't see anything major. So last call for Cosine updates. Cool. Git Sign. Billy, do you have any?
Yeah, so just a few feature updates here. So PR out right now for adding Git config support. So instead of just configuring Git sign with environment variables, you can just stick that in your Git config, just like you do with anything else. So that's pretty cool. And then I also opened up a PR upstream with Dex. There was some feedback we got a while back with some of the behavior of Dex and how it handles GitHub private emails. Will actually expose like your primary email because we need like an email identity. So one of the things we were talking about was like, oh, do we move to like a ID-based approach? But someone actually pointed out that GitHub has support for an ID-based email, like a no reply email. So I opened up a PR to upstream Dex, so we can hopefully get that upstreamed and then pull that in, and then we don't have to expose people's private emails. So yeah, that's it.
This is a fantastic fix. Thank you for doing this. And I think it's really good that this is in Dex and that we don't have to worry about trying to figure this out in full CO and on our own fork of Dex. I believe there was a question from Zach. Zach said, is that no reply email tied to your GitHub handle?
Yeah, so it's a combination of your username plus ID. So even if your username changes, it should still be unique. If your username changes, it will invalidate it. But like if you change your username and then someone comes in and then takes your old username, it'll still be different.
Does GitHub, does it let you reuse usernames?
I don't know what the policy is nowadays, but 8 years ago when I was in school, we definitely took control over unused usernames. So I don't know if anyone from GitHub can comment.
Yeah, I'm not positive it still is possible to, if when somebody deletes their account, you could come and grab that same username. That's why some of the discussions around identity flowing out of GitHub for resurrection attacks and stuff like that. I think we added the user ID into the IDC claim set a little while back earlier this year, specifically because of some PyPI had some concerns in that area. TLDR, I think resurrection attacks are still possible on GitHub usernames.
Awesome. Alrighty. Let us continue on. So for the clients, I think Oscar, you have an update for root signing.
Yeah, super quick, just comment over here because I think it hasn't been said yet in the community meeting, but the next root signing, so that would be V5, is scheduled for September 20th. That would be the final one before GA, so we'd hopefully have enough of a window for things to settle before then. That will include Python tough compatibility. So for like Sigstore Python and Python developers, you should have verification for tough working then. And then it also resolves a couple of other GA related issues.
Awesome. Very much looking forward to that. Did any of the other clients have any updates? I'll also ask Patrick, were there any updates we wanted to discuss around our conversation around the bundles for clients?
Yeah, I guess we could just mention that I think we're broadly agreed on the proposal. I'll link it into this doc after I finish talking. But we're figuring out sort of how to roll it out and where to roll it out. And as sort of like an AI, I'm working to basically define the spec as a proto with Frederick, I think, and we should have a proposal sort of, or I guess like a doc with that spec out relatively soon.
Awesome. Thank you for that update. All right. Sigstore GA. Priya or Kenny, did one of y'all want to make an update?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to write in the actual updates. I can go and fill them in after this. We have a target date of October 25th, which is the same day as Sigstore Con. We're still that is still slightly flexible depending on how our burn down goes, but that is kind of the goal right now. And other than that, yeah, we're just working on closing out issues, writing docs, seeing how our dry run on call is going. So pretty much same update as last week.
Awesome. And I'll say, if you're interested in getting involved in this, come chat with one of us. We also have a channel, Sigstore GA, for discussing GA related things. Alrighty, Sigstore Con that is coming up. Are there any updates? I believe the CFP is still open. Let me go check for that.
It is
no, the
closed
CFP has
already.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're reviewing the CFPs this week.
Awesome, and I believe according to this, notification will be Monday, September 12th for CFPs. Cool. Logo refresh. I don't think there's any more updates for this. Is that correct?
Yeah, that should be all set now, and we've been making sure that all of the logos are matching everywhere. So if you see any stray ones, feel free to file an issue about that.
I'll do that. I've come upon a couple places. For example, I think the transparency log website is using the old logo. I can make an issue for that. Yeah, I think I've come upon it on some websites that talk about Sigstore using their technology. Alrighty, docs.
There's not a lot of updates about docs that I have. I don't know about anyone else, but we are cutting over the docs main brand, or the docs branch from the Sigstore website into his own repo, and that's coming very soon. So we'll just share the messaging about that.
Awesome. And I think for architecture docs, Zach, I don't think we have any updates yet.
Nope. Other than to say we aspirationally are targeting Sigstore Con as a date at which we'll have something to share with the community. And again, you're all welcome to be involved in that effort. Join the Architecture Docs channel in Slack. But at that point, we should have something to share with you.
Awesome. Okay. Outreach and events. We already chatted about Sigstore Con. OSS EU is coming up. That'll be in Dublin, mid-September. I think it's the week of September 10th. There is a open SSF day. Just a reminder, you need to separately register for that. It's free, but you just need to register for that on top of the registration for OSS EU. Did anybody else have any other updates they wanted to make for that? I know a few of us are giving talks at that also. Cool. Blog posts. Did anybody have any blog posts they wanted to chat about that they've written? One that I wanted to mention here is the Linux Foundation actually republished a recent blog post I wrote on adopting Sigstore incrementally, which was very cool. Alrighty, and I'll just say if folks are interested in writing blog posts, feel free to and just to mention them in the general channel or somewhere. we can always post it on the Sigstore Medium blog. I don't believe we have any updates from office hours. Billy, was there anything you wanted to mention? I know you had presented last week. I believe an update from the team writing Sigstore JS, and also Billy discussing Git Sign a test. So if you'd like to see more about that, check out the office hours meeting. Alrighty, so the last thing here is just any other business. Nobody posted anything here, so I'll just give everyone 10 seconds. This is just an opportunity. If you have anything else you want to chat about Sigstore, this is the time. Alrighty, in my head I'm playing the Jeopardy theme song, though it's sped up quite a lot, given that's about 30 seconds. All right, for the last part of the meeting, if anybody is new to the community, this is a time to introduce yourself. Feel free to, this is most certainly not mandatory. But yeah, if you just want to come say hi, now's the chance.
Hi. I'm Meredith Lancaster. I started working at GitHub along with Trevor Rosen, Brian DeHammer, Cody Sterling, and a few others. So nice to be here.
Awesome. Welcome, Meredith.
Dave Lester, I recently joined the open source team at Google. Happy to be here. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome, Dave.
Hi, good to hear. I'm also new to the community. I'm involved in software supply security at a finance company, and I'm getting eager to learn more about how could I integrate some of the tooling here with what we have currently in place based on GraphES, and see how everything can potentially migrate from one system to another.
Awesome. Welcome. Anybody else? Sweet. Well, nice and short and concise meeting. Awesome. Well, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you are interested in discussing more, join the Sigstore dev mailing list. We also have a Slack channel. Come post in general, say hi. We have lots of good stuff going on there. Awesome. Well, see y'all in 2 weeks.